Whoa. How's it going, everybody? Um, okay, that's really weird. Not sure what's going on with the audio, but hopefully it works. In fact, let me just listen to myself real quick to make sure it's good. It sounds fine to me. Okay, yeah. So, I'm on here because, well, one, I just wanted to check in and say hey, and that that I'm alive and stuff. I have been like I've been inundated with like a lot of messages. Um, People have been reaching out to me every which way, and that's good. That's totally fine. I'm thrilled about that. It's nice to hear back from people, um, about how the documentary affected them. I really like to hear back from people about that. Um, so I've been getting like a lot of really nice feedback. I've gotten some criticisms too, which that's fine. But yeah, I'm cool. I'm alive. Just been super busy, with life, and again, still trying to get over the surgical complication, but also just trying to get back to people because I do want to make sure that I actually respond to people if they take the time to reach out to me. Because I don't want to be one of those people that just leaves people hanging like that. Also, I mean, it's not like I'm a famous person or anything and I get like thousands and thousands of messages. I mean, this is a reasonable amount of messages. I mean, it's a lot more than I'm used to because people don't usually talk to me that much because I mean, I'm not really a I don't chat a lot. I mean, I have like two people ever that I really talk to on a regular basis, the cat and well, and y'all. So, um, that's a joke, by the way. Um, but yeah, so the title of the stream is "I Was Wrong," and you're probably wondering what the heck that's all about. So, I actually found out when I was rewatching the documentary that I made a mistake. I made a little bit of a mistake. Uh, so the footage that I uploaded, the one that says it's the full protest footage from the documentary, that's not the full footage. And I realized that, like I said, when I was rewatching the documentary, I noticed that there was footage of me walking in to the Kingdom Hall and like looking into the mirror, and I was like, I remember that, and it looks like it's filmed on my phone. Why isn't that in my footage on the YouTube video? And then I was like, oh no, this must be the footage that I uploaded must be what I clipped, cut down a little bit so that I could show a couple of friends. So yeah, I'm actually gonna go ahead and try to upload the actual full not crash, the actual full protest. Trying to get away from calling it the C word. I'm actually gonna try to upload the full footage, very soon, like sometime this week. But while I was in there, in my old stuff, digging around, I also found some goodies that I don't know. I'll let y'all tell me what you think about whether or not I should go ahead and upload them. Um, like they're basically, how they filmed. There were like little chunks where they filmed me from behind, and I'm on my phone like filming myself talk. I have I have those videos. I also have like just little clips of right before I'm about to talk to my grandmother, little clips of before, I think, and after the protest at the Kingdom Hall, and and I still have the entire video that I took while I was talking to my grandmother at the door. And I was listening to it a little earlier, like before I got on here. And it's kind of funny, actually. Like, there's some stuff in there I completely like blanked out on. I didn't realize was in there. So I think y'all might find it amusing. And especially in contrast to when I had spoken to her before that last. You know, the one I don't know if any of like for the people who are new to my channel, there's a video on my channel from a few years ago where I'm at my grandma's door trying to tell her about what's going on in the organization, and she gets really pissed off and she like throws me out of her house and tells me that she loves Jehovah more than anything, and like she she's really pissed. Um, yeah. So uh, in contrast to that, like this footage that I have of where I was at her door in the documentary, because they only put like a teeny tiny amount in the documentary. It's a good long conversation. Um, it's pretty funny, and it's like a big contrast to how she was acting in the other thing, and she even explains why in that footage why she's acting differently. And I just think it's really funny, and I kind of want to upload that for y'all too. So, let me know in comments or whatever if any of that would interest you, or if you think that's kind of meh, like you don't want to see any of that, any of like the clips from behind the scenes or any of the clips from, uh, any of that junk, or if you hell even tell me if you don't want to see the full footage of the protest, because I mean it's the stuff that I cut out was just literally like what you see in the documentary, like the little chunk of me looking in the mirror to check my hair, I guess, before I go into the hall. I I usually cut out the songs in my protests, like because I feel like nobody wants to hear the Kingdom melodies. They're horrible. But that's in there, and then like I think there's even probably some footage. I didn't look completely through, but I think there might be footage of me like saying hi to a few people before I sit down or something. Um, so yeah, if that sounds interesting to you, like any of that stuff, including the conversation with my grandmother, let me know and I'll put it up. If not, then I'll just get back to what I was originally going to put out this week, which is more memorial clips, because I am nowhere near done putting out memorial clips from this year. Remember, I attended two memorials this year over Zoom, and both of them had some things in them that were that were a little interesting, to say the least. Oh, hey AJ and hey Dave. Dave says, "Hey Ash, has your grandma chatted with you since Vice ran?" No, and I don't expect her to. Um, that would be like extremely shocking to me if she contacted me and was like, "Hey, so I caught your little documentary thing." I just can't see her even acknowledging it, because if she acknowledges it, then that means she has to admit that she watched it, and then that means she goes against literally what she always says. Um, in the like, well, anytime I've talked to her, she's always like, I'm against apostate stuff, and I can't look at apostate stuff. Even in the footage of me talking to her that I was talking about just now, the one where I'm talking to her in the documentary, in the extended footage of that I have, like she's telling me that she doesn't look into apostate things, and she won't. She just refuses. So it would be really like I would probably just the spirit would leave my body and I would drop dead if my grandma called me and was like, "Hey, let's talk about that documentary that you were in. I saw it." Now I can't speak for the rest of my family. Um, my other Jehovah's Witness family members might watch it. Like I wouldn't be too surprised if my brother watched it. I don't think he will, because he was really pissed when I started doing Kingdom Hall protests in the first place. But I mean, just think about it. Like, if he was angry that I put her photo up on the first protest footage, like that I just put her photo on YouTube, I think he's gonna be like absolutely and utterly infuriated and incensed if he realizes that I like gave her medical records and gave video footage of her and all kinds of other stuff, like multiple photos for them to put on the documentary. That would like really upset him. So, I mean, on the one hand, I think he probably wouldn't watch it, but on the other hand, it wouldn't surprise me that much because, I've I've seen him on social media. I try not to be that person, that does the quote unquote social media stalking, but it's my family and I don't get to see them, and I am curious if they're like okay at least. And my brother isn't the most Jehovah's Witness. Like, there's a lot of stuff on there that back in the day, if you put that on social media, or hell, if you even had social media, it would be kind of questionable. Like the elders would be like kind of giving you the side eye. So I don't know. Um, but I wouldn't be that surprised, I guess. Like if he watched it, he would probably still be pissed, and he probably wouldn't admit that he watched it. But you know how they get. Like they get really tempted to look at stuff they're not supposed to. That's how a lot of them end up on my channel and um, other activist channels. Like I know Vinny gets a lot of Jehovah's Witnesses. I know that Mike and Kim get Jehovah's Witnesses, and I know Deciphering Worship gets Jehovah's Witnesses. Like everybody gets Jehovah's Witnesses. I remember Zeb used to get Jehovah's Witnesses. They really love watching my protest videos the most out of everything, and giving their 2 cents on it and telling me how evil I am and stuff. Let's see here. Your grandma was in a very docile, amicable, almost mellow mode in the Vice episode in comparison to the visit you made to her several years ago, as she was hostile, defensive, and combative back then. Yes, super duper pissed is how I would phrase it. Like she was just not having any of my crap. She didn't want to hear what I had to say one teeny tiny bit, not even one syllable. I could barely get out one syllable. I'd be like, but, and she'd be like, no, I'm not listening. Ah. Yeah, so like this was definitely when I showed up at her door for the documentary, it was definitely not what I had expected. One, I wasn't really sure what kind of condition she was going to be in mentally because my uncle, who is still in contact with her from time to time, but he's not a Jehovah's Witness. The one that took the blood transfusion, um, he had told me before I actually got to do the filming, like months before I got to film anything with them, that she got diagnosed with dementia. So I was actually like, I was torn at first. I was like, not even sure I wanted to do the documentary, or at least not that part where I talked to her, because I thought like if she's not if she's not capable of holding a conversation with me, I don't want to put that in the documentary. I don't want to make her look, I don't want to exploit her mental state. Basically, I didn't want to make her look like batshit insane just because she has dementia. If she looks if she looks a little crazy or whatever, because of her beliefs, that's one thing. You know, if she's perfectly lucid and she just looks a little questionable because of the stuff that she actually believes, and she's totally lucid while she's saying it, that's one thing. But like if she's acting like really out of it and stuff, and can barely speak in complete sentences or whatever, and is having a hard time holding a conversation, that's a whole other thing. I don't want to exploit that. That's no, that wouldn't be okay with me. And I'm pretty sure that I remember telling the director that like that if she's not okay, if she's not functional, then I'm going to abort mission. Like I don't want to do that to her. But she was fine. She was very surprisingly fine, very lucid. Like she's just a little older. Um, I mean, it had only been a year since I had seen her last, but she's old, but she's still very lucid, still as much as I remember her being. And yeah, we actually, just to give you an idea of the tone of the rest of the stuff that they didn't put in the documentary, we actually laughed and joked a little bit, um, from what I saw in the footage today. So I was like, huh, I think that might be interesting. People might want to see that. But again, let me know if that sounds really boring and I won't even bother, but I just figured I'd throw that out there. Um, let's see here. The David Splain. Oh wait, sorry. Have you done a return visit to her door? Not at home even. No, I haven't. I haven't gone back to her house. Actually, like I want to say like a few months ago, 2 or 3 months ago, I was at a doctor's appointment, not a doctor's appointment. It was an appointment at the urgent care clinic, and it happens to be the one that my insurance takes. Yeah, the closest one to me that my insurance takes, and it's literally across the street, like literally walking distance. I could cross the road and I'd be in her neighborhood. And I thought about it. I was like, hmm, should I hang out here and like wait for my ride home, or should I just pop over across the street and say hi? I mean, again, I don't ever know when she's home or when she's out in service or what. Like, I presume she's home most of the time because she's not working anymore. She retired from cleaning houses. But yeah, I don't know. I was like, nah, I'll leave her alone because at that point, I knew Vice had already spoken to her. Like, they spoke to her last year, late last year. So I was like, she probably won't even want to have, like, she won't want to see my face, probably. She's probably still really pissed. So I left her alone. And, you know, again, I didn't want to bother her. I have wanted to call her, like, the whole pandemic, I've wanted to call her and check on her just to see how she is. I talked to my uncle about that too. Like, I really want to call her and see how she's doing. Like, I am worried about her and stuff, and she probably thinks I don't care. But I feel like I always feel like I'm gonna bother her, if I call. I feel like it upsets her to hear from me, and that she just doesn't want to hear from me, and that she'll just get angry and hang up or something. So I leave her alone. Um, the David Splaine Convention talks along with Toni Morris escapades are making them double down, even triple down on apostates. They've upgraded shunning to other JWs, not going to Zoom meetings. Yikes. Yeah, no, I mean, like, I kind of heard about that. I also heard that they're weird. Like, in some Kingdom Halls, I heard they're weird about, like, you gotta you gotta sit in a place where things look clean and nice and neat, and like you gotta make sure you're clean shaven, and you still have to dress up and crap. I've heard of stuff like that. I will say that the meetings I attended recently on Zoom, it wasn't like that, and they were really like lenient about having even the cameras on. I know a lot of JWs in the meeting, and I'll show you, when I upload that footage. A lot of JWs in the meeting had their cameras off, and that makes me think it's got to be like a lot easier right now to be a double lifer because I mean, you get to talk to your family, you get to have that association with them, but like you can just sit in the meetings and just literally be playing, I don't know, Fortnite or whatever, on your video game console while you have the camera off, and you don't even have to have the meeting sound on. Like, you just sit there and pretend you're on. You just log in and leave it alone until it's over. You don't have to answer either. I mean, you can participate. They use the little raise your hand thing in Zoom. So you can participate if you want, but I mean, not everybody does. It's always the ones that are on camera that are super JWs. I actually had a member of my family in one of the meetings that I attended, and she participated. So that was surreal. I was like, wow, that's my family member. Holy smokes. I won't say which family member for to protect her privacy, but yeah, it was a family member of mine, and I was just like I couldn't believe what I was seeing. Like, of all the Kingdom Hall Zoom meetings that I could have attended, I found my way into hers. That's why, like, I mean, San Antonio is like the biggest small town you'll ever be in. Like, my entire family is here. Like, I run the risk of running into them all over the place. Let's see here. Wow, I am sorry to hear about the dementia. It's horrible dealing with it. My dad had it full on, along with Parkinson's, and developed Alzheimer's by the time I woke up from Jehovah's Witnesses in 2017 to 18. Yeah, it's a horrible progressive illness. My great grandmother had it as well, and it was absolutely terrifying toward the end. Like, I could tell stories about that, but for so I don't bore everybody, I won't. But like, yeah, I know what you're saying, man. I remember. Just for a small example, she thought that I was my mom, my great grandma. She kept asking where I was and if I was how I was doing. And I was like, and after a while, I just gave up and pretended to be my mom to make it easier. I don't even know if that's ethical or not, but I was a kid, so I'm cutting myself a little slack here. Hey, Great Dane, and hey, Spiritual Monk. It's good to see y'all. I've gone back and I am watching from the beginning, playback speed at 1.5, and hoping to catch up with y'all. Awesome. We haven't really talked about much. You haven't really missed much, so don't worry about that. I wanted to show a teeny tiny sample of what I'm talking about as far as footage uh, that I haven't uploaded. So I'm going to go ahead and play that now. Let me see here. I'm going to mute myself real quick. I'm about to go talk to my grandma again. 13B, State Highway 16. Lehigh Valley, Bandera. It's been over a year since I've spoken to her, and she has dementia now, so I'm not really sure what's going to happen, but I do want to talk to her about what happened with my mom.
Let's do this one more time.
Chance.
Let's do it one more time. Were you rolling, Alex?
Oh.
Okay,
sorry,
so no. So here, to put it down.
Okay, sure.
And Alex, roll.
Oh, sorry, I didn't know.
It's okay. No, we'll film you doing that. Ready?
Okay.
Okay, and then we have sound on all this?
Yep, rolling.
Okay, ready? And whenever you're feeling it.
Hey everybody, it's the One Bun, aka Asher the Kingdom Hall Crasher. I'm on my way to go and confront my grandmother. It's been over a year since I've seen her, and I'm aware that she has some health problems now. She has been diagnosed with dementia, and I'm really hoping that I can just have at least a coherent conversation with her. That's like all I'm hoping for. I do have some questions that I want answered, like I want to know what ultimately made her decide, I guess, to make the decision that she made. I want to know what strengthened her faith in that regard, and I also want to know, did she feel it? Did it hurt? Does she think about it? I think about it every day. I just want to know. Anyway, alright, I guess we'll see you in just a second when I go piss her off. Sorry. Okay, so yeah, that's what I'm talking about when I say I've got, some extra footage. That footage actually did end up in the documentary. Um, they were filming me from behind, as you saw, and they did put that in there. I think I don't remember at what point, like before or after I went to her house, or I think probably before. That makes sense. Um, so yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Like they had me do little clips like that so that they could get some B-roll. And I do have, like I said, I have my grandma's. I have my conversation with my grandma, the whole thing, because they cut out quite a bit. They cut out like, gosh, actually, I could tell you right now how long that thing is. Whoops. Let's see here, properties. Let's see how long it was. It was crap. It was not crap. Sorry. Let's see. 24 minutes it says. 24 minutes? Holy smokes. So yeah, they cut out that little teeny tiny chunk that you saw in the documentary of me at my grandma's door. There was actually 24 minutes of footage. So that's a lot that they chopped out. And we did have quite a lengthy conversation. And like I said, we were even joking around, and she was telling me about she was telling me about her reasoning behind being nicer this time. So yeah, if that's something that y'all would be interested in seeing, let me know. I've also got, like I said, other little clips from behind the scenes if that interests you. I mean, they're kind of like what you just saw. It's just them trying to direct me and make me get some good footage for them for the B-roll and stuff. And I mean, it worked out. I think they were really good at what they did. They got some really interesting like shots. Like they made me sit down and read the Bible and stuff. I don't have any footage of that, but like you saw that in the documentary. They even did something kind of interesting. I don't think they used the angle that they did this with, but like okay, so they got down, they threw a big blanket down, like a big heavy blanket, and they like sat underneath me with the camera, like while I was reading the Bible, they got way under there to try to get that kind of crazy angle. They were literally on the ground trying to get a good angle, lying on their back and stuff. I also contacted the people, the film crew, and the on the I contacted the film crew on Instagram because I saw that they had posted a bunch of pictures, a bunch of screen grabs from the documentary in the past few days, and I was like, "Hey, that's me," because they posted like a handful of pictures of me in there too, and I was like, "Whoa!" Like I was actually, I think, the first picture and like a few more pictures in there, and like they hit me. One of them hit me back. He messaged me actually on Instagram just to tell me like that he cherishes he still cherishes the time that he came and filmed and spent with us and everything, and that the project was like really important to him. And I told him, you know, the XJW community really loves the documentary. In fact, a lot of them are saying it's the best one so far. And he was like really thrilled to hear that. And he was like, "This is why I do what I do. Like this kind of stuff is like super important." So like, yeah, I just thought I would share that with y'all too because I thought it was neat. Let me go check the chat real quick. But yeah, 24 minutes of talking to my grandmother, and I think they used like maybe less than a minute of me talking to her. No, like a minute or minute and a half, less than 2 minutes of me talking to her. But there was a lot. Like we talked about me being trans. We talked about the elders scolding her. We even talked about that video that was going around of the transsexual um, the transsexual elder, so to speak. Like I don't know if it's a real video or not, but I saw it. I remember seeing it. I don't know if it was really from them or somebody just like made a parody or something, but it was basically like I think an experience that was supposed to be given at a convention where there was a Jehovah's Witness who is now an elder, but who previously had been a transgender woman, right? He transitioned to being a woman, but then I guess, he felt bad or whatever and went back to Jehovah, and he detransitioned back to being a man. And then he became an elder. And I was like, what? Like when I saw that, I was like, what? That wouldn't even be allowed. You wouldn't be allowed to have privileges or even be an elder. No way. They wouldn't use you. But yeah, I did talk about that with my grandma. So yeah, there's a lot in there that was missed. So yeah, definitely let me know if y'all want to see that, or if y'all want more of those little chunks of things that I have, footage and stuff. I thought it was really funny in the footage seeing seeing the director like stick his hand out like, wait, no, wait, we got to start again. And then like, he was like, put it down, and he made sure that the sound guy was actually getting audio. And there was another clip where I think one of them messed up or something and was like, "Oh crap, I didn't get it. Can you start again?" It was really funny. Um, but yeah, so I just thought that would be neat to show you all that because, like, I mean, I kind of, if I were watching and I knew somebody had footage of that stuff, I would be kind of curious to see, like, what it looks like, what the camera looks like, what the environment is like behind the scenes and stuff. And by the way, that director that's in those clips, the one that came to actually do the filming, um, he's listed in the credits. You can look for him. Is Jeff Fierzig. Um, I mentioned this in another stream. It wasn't Aaron Kaufman. Aaron Kaufman took over the project after Jeff did all the initial like footage and stuff. And Jeff is like he's an incredible director. He's done The Devil and Daniel Johnston, and he's also done author of the J.T. Leroy story. I think he's actually working on a project now too. I can't remember the name of it at the moment, but yeah, he is fantastic. If you are interested in documentaries that are like just kind of bizarre and like super interesting and about the underdog and very sympathetic to people with like some mental stuff going on. Um, like me, then yeah, definitely look up his documentaries because they were great. I watched those two that I mentioned, and I was just like blown away by how awesome it was. He is a fantastic director. And Aaron did a fantastic job when he took over too. Like I did meet with him and over Zoom, of course, and I was thrilled to find out that there was an Ex-JW, uh, that had taken over the project. Because I mean, he could relate. Like the producers that I was working with, none of them were JWs or had been JWs. They did have experience, with certain religions and stuff, and some there had been some stuff. I remember that they tried to relate is what I'm trying to say, and I appreciate that. Like they were really trying to understand the whole experience. They did everything they could to really try to get their head in it, because they wanted to do everything justice. Like that was their big thing the whole time. They're like, we just want to do this justice. We want to treat this correctly. We want everything to come out respectfully and accurately and sensitively, and they did that. They really did. They delivered. But Aaron, when I spoke to him, like he just got it. He just got it, because he's an XJW. He's one of us. Um, so like talking to him, like it really reassured me that the documentary was going to be excellent because, I mean, it was in the hands of one of us. Of course, it's going to come out great. Um, yeah, let's see here. Spiritual monk. Oh, sorry. Hey, JC, and hey, Bug. The good lie. Yeah, that's for real. The best lie ever, as they would call it. Spiritual monk says they are dubbing. I think you mean doubling. Yeah, probably doubling, right? They are doubling down on apostates and even thinking negativity is bad during the Sunday afternoon conversation. Yeah, yeah, no, I believe that. Dave says, my late wife's family is in San Antonio now. Her mom is in her 60s and basically physically out, mentally in. She'd probably get along great with your grandma, even though she's been disfellowshipped since 2004. I don't think there are very many people that would get along great with my grandma. I don't know what it is, but my grandma, you know, she just she can be difficult to get along with. Like, if you're familiar with her personality type and stuff, and you know how to like dodge all the landmines with her, you can probably get along with her fine. But like you really have to get to know her first. She can be grumpy. I'm trying to find a nice way to say that. She's kind of a grumpy person. Um, but that doesn't come across at all in the footage that I plan on uploading if y'all want to see it. The full footage of me talking to her at the door. I also have to audio boost it because I don't think it's loud enough. I think I might have been covering the mic just a teeny tiny bit, which is why I'm super glad that they mic'd me up under my clothes. But otherwise, they probably wouldn't have gotten very good audio. They were originally planning on maybe using some of the video footage or from the cell phone footage that I had, or using the audio that I got as a backup. But I don't think they ended up using any of the audio, and I know they didn't use any of the footage. Um, oh, thanks, Great Dane. I appreciate that. The thumbs up thing. Got a thumbs up for me. Thanks, Spiritual Monk. um, and some Jehovah in my area, I think, are starting to question the governing body to an extent. They should. The governing body, okay, like back in the day, and I'm surprised my grandmother doesn't see this. Back in the day, the governing body weren't people that you saw. Like, they weren't like the rock star type of personas that you have today. They were, from what I understand, just kind of in the background. Nobody knew who they were. You know, they were just they people just knew they existed. So that's that alone, I think, begs a little bit of questioning. Like, why are they all of a sudden being idolized like this? Isn't idolatry bad? Let's see here. Nice bonus footage. I wonder if your grandma would be open to well-being checks from you now. or is your JW brother and her elders attempting shepherding visit stuff? I would guess, based on just the teeny tiny snippet of me skimming through the footage that I took of her when I was skimming through it earlier, I would guess by what she said that people do check in on her, and you know how sometimes in some congregations, not all of them, but in some congregations they do kind of try to look after their older ones, but in other congregations they totally abandon them and they don't give a crap. I'm really glad that my grandma is in a congregation where it seems like they do check up on her. They if she gets sick, they'll like bring her food and stuff. This is going off of years ago conversations I had with her. They'll bring her food or they'll help her move furniture if she needs help with that. I think my uncle, who is a JW, still my other uncle, not the one I talked about with the blood transfusion. My other uncle, I think he comes over and mows her lawn, stuff like that. Like, I think they do try to help her out a little bit. I mean, honestly, I wish I could go over and mow her lawn. One, I love mowing lawns, and two, like, I just want to help my grandma out. I always kind of thought that would be the position I was in at my age now, that I would be helping her out. Years ago, back when she still talked to me, before I started doing activism, I would check up on her. And I remember one time, this is the last time I really got to help her. I made her a big pot of chicken soup because she had been really sick for days, and I made the gigantic pot of it so she could eat off of it for a few days and not have to worry about cooking. And I took it to her. I didn't even tell her I was coming. I just showed up and brought it to her, and she was like super grateful. And yeah, I just really missed that. But I always wanted the opportunity to be the one to help take care of my grandmother in her old age. She used to jokingly tell me when I was a kid, like, when I'm old, you're going to be taking care of me. And I used to be like, no, I don't want to. But when I got older, I really did want that opportunity to give back because she is the one who raised me primarily. Like, I was, raised by my mom for just a handful of years, but the majority of my childhood and, upbringing was by my grandmother. And since my mom's not around for me to help, I always kind of figured I would be helping my grandmother instead, and it really sucks that I can't do that. Let's see here. Sharon Anders says, I also think it was the best documentary yet. Awesome. Thank you. I think so too. I mean, I don't know why I'm saying thank you. I didn't make it, but but yeah, thank you for sharing your opinion because I think it really was the best one so far, and they did fabulous with it. Like, it really couldn't. I mean, some people think that it could have done without my part. That I've actually seen people say that that's the only part they don't like was my part. And I even saw somebody say it doesn't fit in with the rest of the documentary. My part. I'm like, what? Somebody else commented on that person's comment saying that it does fit in because it's called Crusaders. Ex-Jehovah's Witnesses speak out, and that's literally what I did. So thanks, person who said that and pointed that out, because yeah, I thought it fit in. I mean, yeah, they were mostly talking about the CSA stuff, but I mean, my mother's story is technically, it fits in with that theme because she was a child bride. So I think it fits in quite well, actually. And it was really talking about, their policies as well, not literally just one subject. Um, and trying to connect that to human stories and human faces. And I think it all went together rather well. Um, Anonymous White Rabbit says, "Yo, definitely want to see that footage. Awesome. Then I will probably be putting that up. I will. You know what? I can probably put it up tomorrow because I'm just gonna go through it and look through it real quick and make sure there's nothing uh like no personal info that isn't that wouldn't be kind to share. Like, if she's talking about last names of people that are in her congregation, I'll probably have to take that, and bleep it or something or just silence it. But I probably won't have to. I don't think any of that came out, so I'll probably just straight up upload it. Let's see here. I I try to just upload um, my protests and like footage that I put on YouTube. I try to just upload it straight up if I can without editing it, just because I feel like it's more realistic, it's more raw. Um, but there are some things, like I said, the Kingdom Melody crap at the meetings. I'll usually cut that out because nobody wants to hear that. I know it's triggering to me. And then like I think somebody was complaining on another crash that I did, or crash, another protest that I did, that there was so much walking in the beginning, like and it stressed them out, like watching me walk into the hall. They're like, "Oh my God, the sidewalk thing was so long, and I felt so stressed as you were approaching the Kingdom Hall." Like, if y'all think I should cut stuff like that out, like if you want me to just cut straight to the, to the action and leave out the parts where I'm walking or or whatever, um, let me know in comments or something. I'm always open to criticism and suggestions on that. Like I said, I just leave it raw because I feel like you know it is what it is, and I don't usually touch it unless I absolutely have to because um because it is what it is. Like I said, um, play it. Oh, I can't. I'm not gonna play it right now because we're on a stream and like I want to upload it by itself um just so that it's not buried in a big long stream like right now. So I'm gonna do that tomorrow. Look out for it tomorrow. I will put my conversation with my grandma up, and you can have a look at that, and it won't be buried in a stream. And feel free to leave your comments on it too. Of course, I'm sure that I think it'll be amusing, honestly. And it is kind of light and lighthearted. I know in the documentary they picked out like the worst stuff and made it seem like we were having a really dark conversation, but believe it or not, the majority of the conversation is pretty lighthearted, except for that one part. I mean, even the part where I come out to her as trans isn't that like dark or negative or anything. You'll see. Anonymous White Rabbit says they were next to never seen, talking about the governing body. It felt much more spiritual back then. Just a watchtower in the mail, and it seemed to have a spiritual food at the proper time, at least to the indoctrinated mind. I remember getting the watchtowers in the mail, folded up in that brown paper. I remember that. My grandmother really loved that, and she loved the Awake. She actually had a stack of watchtowers and Awakes by her bed, I remember growing up, and she would read the Awake at night before she would go to bed, and she would try to share it with me and tell me, "Oh, look at this. This is so interesting. Look at how beautiful Jehovah makes the earth, and look at all the science and everything that that Jehovah makes and everything." I was like, I mean, at the time I was a kid, so I didn't really know any better. I was like, "Oh yeah, that's pretty cool." Um, but my grandmother really, that was like National Geographic to my grandmother. Like seriously, the Awakes were like JW National Geographic. Like she really loved that stuff. She devoured those. She would like not only just read them once either. I'm pretty sure I remember her reading them over and over because she really loved them that much. Let's see here. The new televangelist format does them no favors. LOL. Yeah, absolutely not. Especially not with certain governing body members. Like most of them are like completely wooden and don't do well in front of the camera in general. They're just so boring and clearly are just not good in front of the camera, right? Hard to watch. But Stephen Lett looks possessed. Like he looks possessed. What is that? Like his eyes are just like super. I can't even show you because my glasses are on. But like he's got these freaking massive eyes, and it looks like he's in some kind of a trance, or like he just dropped some acid or something, and he's like very, you know, very astonished at everything around him. It's weird, and from what I understand, uh, like from what his relatives have said publicly, like he doesn't actually talk like that off camera, and he doesn't act like that that's just something he does on camera. So I don't know what happens to him, but he like I don't know, he either like does some kind of drugs before he gets on camera so he can handle it, or he like dissociates or something and he just is in a weird trance. But it's weird and it creeps me out, and I don't know how any Jehovah's Witness watches that and isn't absolutely creeped out by it, cuz I know I am. I'm like, ew. And then like he's all like, young ones. Like he has like there is the elder voice, the elder cadence that they all use. Like brothers will use it during the public talks, or the elders will use it when when they're talking too. Like they all they all talk like that, but his is like the worst. His is like the most overacted, overpronounced, like hardcore elder voice. He's got like elder cadence bad. Um, we didn't even really see or know of Milton Henschel or the Watchtower president from 1992 to 2000, let alone governing body members. I didn't even know there was a Watchtower president until I got older. Like I had no idea. I remember thinking, "What? I thought this organization didn't have leaders. I thought everybody was all like equal and shit." Um, but yeah, no. Yeah, you're right. They were not visible. Um, I had Ted. How do you pronounce that? Jarix, Yarix, for Kingdom Sinistry, Sinistry Fool. You're killing me, Dave. For MS elders or MS slash elders in Chicago in 2005. That was one of my first privileges in the 90s, was helping with magazine subscriptions, plus microving and being the reader for Watchtower and book study. What a waste. Was it Marcus Vaughn video? I'm not sure what video you're talking about. Can you elaborate, Bug? They trained us that way to speak the way Stephen Lett or Splain speaks, or Tight Pants Tony illustrates with the match blowout. Gosh, the match blowout. I'm really glad they showed that in the documentary because that was powerful. Like it shows them for what they are. I do kind of wish they had left the laughter that was in there, because that, in my opinion, that makes it creepier. But some people were saying that they were glad they took the laughter out because it makes it creepier that way. I don't know. What do y'all think? Do you think it's creepier to hear the Jehovah's Witnesses laugh about everybody dying, or do you think it's creepier that it was silent and they just had that eerie music in the background? Just wondering what y'all think. Hmm. By the way, I highly recommend. I don't know if y'all like drink any soda, but this I picked up just randomly. I don't really drink soda that has sugar in it, but I couldn't help it because if you know anything about me, you know I love pineapples. I can't resist pineapple anything. Usually I don't, that doesn't really mean food, but like I like things that have pineapples on them or that are pineapple shaped. I'm obsessed with pineapples, but like I picked this up and it's actually really good. It reminds me of, I don't know if anybody out there has Sonic, but it reminds me of the ocean water at Sonic. It's like pineapple and coconut flavored, and it's really, really good. Um, I can't drink too many of these though. That's bad for me. Delicious. Um, so yeah, Bug. I'm not really sure what you were talking about uh, regarding the Marcus Vaughn video, but yeah, let me know. Let me know what you meant, because I've got no idea. Oh, was it Marcus who said Stephen Lett doesn't speak like that in person? No, I think I I can't remember who did the video, but somebody interviewed one of Stephen Lett's I think it was a niece or other relative, and that person said that he doesn't act like that in real life, that he doesn't do that on camera. Let's see here. Dave says they're programmed to laugh like we were programmed to clap, like hyenas and seals in pure pressured unison agreement. You know what? That was like, do you remember in the Kingdom Hall when when it was like dead silent and super boring and you were just dying to break the monotony, and then the elder giving the talk tells like the like most boring, dry, not even a little bit funny joke, but you burst out laughing anyway because you're just like dying to break the monotony. You are so bored that you'll laugh at anything, and everybody's like, and it's the polite JW laugh. You're like, yeah, and then like they clap after that. They're like, oh yes, that was a fantastic joke. I remember that. I remember being like, oh, we have permission to laugh now. Oh god. Yeah, I don't miss that. I don't miss waiting for my turn to laugh at the bad joke. Ugh. And what's worse is they actually thought they were funny too. And then after the meeting, people would go up to them and be like, "I really liked that joke that you told. That was really good." And then of course their ego gets stroked even more, and then they're like, they start telling more of those terrible jokes. They're like, "Oh yeah, people like they like my comedy. I should be a Jehovah's Witness comedian and start inserting really crappy jokes into my talks. People love that stuff. I'm going to be everybody's favorite public speaker." I mean, I have no room to judge. I don't make good jokes. All of my jokes are dad jokes. Like really, really dorky dad jokes. So, I'm not any better, but like at least my jokes weren't like Jehovah's Witness jokes. Like uh what's the fastest way to spread news in the congregation? Uh oh wait, no, what's the fastest method of communication? Is it it's no, the three fastest methods. Sorry, I keep screwing the. See, I can't even tell a joke. The three fastest ways to communicate in the congregation: telephone. Um, I can't remember the other one. What is it? Ah, yeah, I can't remember. It's telephone, tell us something, and tell a sister. And I'm like, what? Like, I remember that one, and I remember thinking back then, like, that's kind of sexist, isn't it? But yeah. Oh yeah, it's telephone, telegram, tell a sister. That's it. Ugh, gross. Just gross. Let's see here. Um, Stephen Lett's niece was interviewed on another channel about that bug. Also, Chessa's dad, Tim Mannion, was brought in by Lett that Chessa mentioned to Trey Bundy on the witnesses. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, I'm not crazy. I do remember. Um, oh my gods, that's Eric. Uh, Lett had a suicide in his family, I recall. Oh, that's unfortunate. I hope that they, that it wasn't like they were like it wasn't a shunning situation because, that's really horrible. Wouldn't surprise me though. It really upsets me that the way that Jehovah's Witnesses treat deaths in the family of, you know, family members who weren't Jehovah's Witnesses, or taking it a step further, who were apostates or who were disfellowshipped but not apostates. They don't have much regard for them. Um, my mother had a Jehovah's Witness funeral, even though she hadn't been a practicing Jehovah's Witness for like at least over a year at that point. She hadn't even set foot into a Kingdom Hall or talked to a witness or anything, and she'd been celebrating holidays and all that jazz. Um, but she had it. She had a Jehovah's Witness funeral, and why? I think on the technicality that she died because she didn't accept a blood transfusion. Except it wasn't really her that didn't accept it. It wasn't her choice. And yeah, that really made me angry. Seeing in the documentary that my grandmother, you know, tried to gaslight me to my face that it was my mother's choice. She said it was her choice. No, it was not. One, I was there. I remember. And two, it says it in the medical documents that it was my grandmother's choice. Like I have literal medical documents that prove that. They're sitting right over there. They were in the documentary. And then like, um, yeah, I just it drove me nuts hearing her say that it was her choice. My uncle, I spoke to him. My uncle that did accept a blood transfusion and was shunned. I spoke to him, a couple days after the documentary came out, and I was like, "Hey, how's it going?" And we talked about it a little, and he says he remembers that my mom wanted blood. He remembers that she said yes. So, uh, yeah, just lots and lots of feelings. But anyway, I don't want to keep everybody on here all night. I really mostly just came to say, hey, I was wrong about the footage. The footage that I put up was not the full footage, and that was my mistake. And I should have realized it. I should have realized it because I know, like I said in the documentary, you see part of the actual full footage where I'm going into the Kingdom Hall, and I look in the mirror, and I was like, why isn't that on my YouTube video? And that's when I remembered, oh, I must have cut that down so I could show friends. Ugh. Where can we watch the documentary without signing up? Well, there. Let's see here. You can ask Dave Wicklin. He's in the chat. I'm sure he can hook you up. There's also, let's see here. On If you have Amazon and you want to support the documentary, it's only $2.99. You can just buy the one episode. You don't have to sign up for anything. You don't have to sign up for Prime. You don't have to sign up for anything. Just purchase the one episode and you're good. Um, if you want to, if you don't mind signing up for a free trial, it is on Philo, and you can just cut out after you watch it. Like you don't have to pay anything. Um, I know you said that you don't want to sign up for anything, but yeah, but it is free. That's the upside to that. I ended up signing up for Philo. As a matter of fact, oops, I think I might have missed the the 7 day window. Oops, that's fine. I'll just watch it for a month. Um, it's got a lot of good stuff though. But yes, Dave can hook you up. The only reason I'm not putting it on here is because like I'm just on the off chance that YouTube does not appreciate that, and I get a little slap on the wrist. But yes, there is, just to be transparent about this, there is a link going around. Um, and if you ask around, there are people who will there are people who will give it to you. And yeah, actually, come to think of it, I did see the full documentary on YouTube. Like I've seen somebody upload it there. I've seen it uploaded to 3 places actually. One is the link that's going around. 2 is the backup to that on a different website, and 3 is on YouTube. So it is around. Yeah, once you sign up, they will never leave you alone. Oh, I haven't had that experience. Like you can literally unsubscribe from any emails, uh, and they won't contact you anymore. But yeah, if you want to avoid any of that anyway, I don't blame you. Just you know, like I said, Dave has the hookup, and there are three, you know, 3 links out there that exist. I don't have, I don't know where it is on YouTube. I just know that I did see it floating around. Somebody posted it. Um, and yeah, I mean, honestly, you can probably search for it on Facebook because I know that somebody uploaded it to Facebook too. So actually, that makes 4, and it's public. So just look around, you'll find it. And I'm sorry for being like vague about this. I just, like I said, I don't want to anger the YouTube gods. Plus, I mean, I do want to actually support the documentary. I know that it's not. I know that it's not. What you call it? Uh, what's the word I'm looking for? practical. It's not practical to expect everybody to be able to support the documentary, um, you know, uh, monetarily by purchasing it or renting it or whatever. Like, I understand that. So, I don't judge anybody who makes use of the links floating around. I did support it because, well, one, because I can, and two, because I very much want to, because I really believe in the work that they did, and I'm like super grateful for it. So I wanted to do my part. Um, Actually, I kind of want to buy a copy of it off of Amazon too. I did record it for my personal use. You know, I'm okay admitting that. I recorded it for my personal use because I wanted to like keep a copy of it, for my memory, for my memories and stuff. So I can look back on it and be like, hey, I did a thing. um, and maybe to show my kids when I'm old. My kids aren't gonna watch it right now. I wouldn't let them watch it. It's a little much for children. But yeah, I have a copy of it myself that I saved because memories and stuff. But I do want to purchase a copy from Amazon. I did sign up for Philo, and they got apparently $25 out of me as of today. So yeah, if you can support it, if you can't, no judgment. There are links floating around, and just ask around. A friendly Ex-JW will help you out. And yeah, you can technically download it from YouTube. There are ways to download literally anything from YouTube, so that's a thing. Um, let's see here. Yeah, yeah, that's about it. If anybody has any questions about anything else, like totally, feel free to let me know. Um, like I said, I've been answering a lot of messages in various platforms. I've been in Reddit threads. Oh, one last thing before I go, I did want to share that in this whole process of messages floating around and being contacted and stuff, I actually made contact with somebody, with another person, like, because this isn't the first person that's done this, but I actually made contact with yet another person that my protest helped to wake up. They told, they said that it was like, that was it. That was like the last straw for them. And they actually did go and look all the stuff up that was said. And yeah, and I won't say which crash it was, or which, I keep calling it crash. I won't say which protest it was because privacy reasons. I don't want to out them or anything. But like, yeah, I can't believe it. I love hearing that. I literally like hearing back from people that my protests affected in that way, that it actually made them get up and leave, like leave forever the organization. That is everything. That's why I do this. Like, they told me, that they were glad, they hoped that it helped me to do the protest, that it helped me, because I think people think that I do this to help myself. I don't. My first protest was a little bit for me, yeah, like just a little bit, because it was my old hall, and it was my first one. It was very personal to me. Not that all the rest of them aren't at least somewhat personal to me, but I don't do I don't do the protests at this point to help myself. I do these to help others. Now, I'm not under any illusion that it's gonna wake everybody up or that it's gonna help everybody. Not at all. But this is why I do it. It's not for my own, you know, to work through my own trauma or for my own like therapeutic reasons. So I just wanted to say that. But yeah, thought that was cool. Um, Another one bites the dust. So yeah, if you're out there and you've been affected in a good way by one of my protests, I would love to hear from you. I always love hearing from you, and I will respect your privacy on that. I won't like tell people your name or anything like that, or even which crash or gosh, I keep saying crash, even which protest it was. I will keep that information private. I just like to share when I found another one. You know, it's like really awesome. Uh, it really fills me with joy and satisfaction to know that it does work, despite what a lot of people seem to think. It really does work. It's not going to wake everybody up, like I said, and it's not going to wake people up immediately. Although this person said that it you know pretty much immediately worked for them, but hey, there's evidence. It works. Yay! That's the whole point of me doing it. Yay! Um, Dave says, I wonder if they'll actually ever open Kingdom Halls again, let alone do the cart witnessing crap or doors. Hard to see them doing that not only with COVID, but with their paranoid persecution complex. Yeah, you know, they are super paranoid right now. They're like more paranoid than ever. Um, like way more paranoid than ever. Uh, Especially with like, with the documentary coming out. Like they doubled down on that stuff because the documentary was coming out. No joke. Like the witnesses knew about this um, a long time ago. Because they were contacted and everything a long time ago. So they knew it was coming, and they were like, yeah, we got to plan something to um, to what was I gonna say? To inoculate the witnesses against the media before this comes out. And I think that's why they're doing the stuff they're doing at the convention, is because they want to make sure that the witnesses are fully vaccinated, so to speak, against looking at any apostate material. I know that the witnesses do know about it, though. I'm not talking about like just the governing body and all that. I know that the rank and file witnesses do know about it. Um, I've heard some things from sources. I won't name sources, but I've heard some things that yeah, they're aware of it. They know. I don't know how they know though. Like I don't know if maybe the elders told them specifically, yeah, there's a documentary coming out, nobody watch it, or if curiosity gets the best of them and they're the kind of JW that goes and looks at stuff, in secret, and they just kind of heard through the grapevine it was coming, or maybe if they're PMO, or they're in contact with a PMO, or they have a spouse who's a PMO, or a spouse who's just an Ex-JW in general. Like maybe that's how they found out. But yeah, a lot of rank and files know about the documentary, surprisingly. And I bet you some of them are watching it. So hopefully it helps wake them up a bit. Um, a lot of people were saying uh, that seeing my part of the documentary actually helped to change their perspective on Kingdom Hall protests, which is awesome. Because it showed them basically how I arrive at that point, and the humanity behind the person who is doing those types of activism. So like they started to get it. They're like, okay, I understand. I get it. Plus, like I said, I've been around online, engaging in conversations with people who you know don't necessarily agree with me doing this stuff, and after explaining myself in detail and why I do what I do and all that jazz, people actually have said that they've come to the conclusion that while they probably wouldn't do it themselves, they're not necessarily against it anymore. They've changed their opinion of it. So that's really cool. I'm not trying to force everybody to think the same way I am. I just wanted to offer my perspective and let them know, that what I'm doing, it doesn't come from a place of anger, or wanting to get the witnesses or just bother them or whatever, or disrupt their peaceful service, which, by the way, I don't know about y'all, but my meetings were never peaceful. They were always filled with children getting pinched and beaten and abused and stuff. Like literally at the meetings, you would hear kids screaming in the bathroom because they're getting beaten. So yeah, peaceful meeting my ass, but I know that's not everywhere, but like probably a little bit, yeah. Um, but yeah, it's I want people to realize that I'm not just going in there to be like, fuck the witnesses, I would fuck your meeting and I'm gonna just shit all over it and I just want to yell at you because I'm really pissed off at what you did to my mom. Like that's not the attitude I go in there with. I go in there with love and concern. That's what I go in there with. Those are my weapons, love and concern. And I really mean it. Like from the bottom of my heart, every time I go and do a protest like that, I 100% mean it. And I wish I could just reach out and tell all the children individually, like, are you okay? Is anybody hurting you? Do you need help? They're the ones I worry about the most. Let's see here. So yeah, if they ever do open up the halls again or do the cart stuff again or whatever, I might have to pay them a visit again. I mean, I will pay them a visit again. Um, as long as they have kingdom halls and carts and stuff, I will be visiting them. Um, let's see here. Thank you for doing this. It's so much harder than it looks. Um, yeah, I mean, like I've said in various places online, some people want to do this and they can and they do it. Some people want to do it and they can't do it, and that's okay. And some people just want to move on with their lives, after they leave the cult, and that's okay too. For me personally, it feels like I'm leaving a burning building and I have to keep going back until I'm sure there's nobody left in there. And I know that sounds like a really lofty goal, but like, I don't mean like that I literally think I'm going to be able to save everybody, but I want to do my best. I want to do whatever I'm capable of doing. Um, and yeah, no problem, Bug. Um, I appreciate you. Dave says, exit the maze. Go specifically into the YouTube. Oh, Dave is helping out to exit the maze through the sun, east into the sunrise. That's a long name. I'm curious where that comes from. It's a kind of a cool name, actually. Um, a lot of rank and filers like Vice. Yeah, they do. Documentaries are kind of addictive. I mean, I know I loved Vice before this documentary came out. Before they even reached out to me, actually. I used to watch a lot of Vice stuff. Really good stuff. They do everything so well. That's why I was like really excited when I found out it was them handling it. Like when they emailed me and said, "Hey, we took over the project and we're the ones that are going to be publishing it." Um, I was like, "Yes, Vice, awesome!" Like they couldn't have gotten a better company to do it. Um, like because they're allies. They take everything very seriously. They fact check everything really well, and they're really sensitive. They handle things sensitively. Certain topics like this that are very delicate. Like that you can't be heavy-handed with certain stuff, and they are really good about it. Um, their hyper fear mongering at this convention will backfire on them. I hope so. I hope that it is going to backfire on them, and that they're going to be like, hmm. The witnesses, they're going to be like, why are they trying so hard to like make me not watch stuff? Like maybe there's something to hide there. I hope it cracks their brain open a little and they start using critical thinking. As a 20-year-old walk-in convert, I become more stunned listening to horrid experiences of those born in slash raised around as JWs. I feel now that I didn't have a clue in retrospect as to how bad it was. I mean, I was born in and I'm fourth generation, and even I didn't have a clue as to how bad it was. Like, I didn't find out about all of the CSA cover ups and stuff until I was 26, and I left when I was 17. Like, I didn't find out until I was trying to go back and get baptized so I could be a double lifer. um, I didn't know. I mean, I knew that stuff like that happened. Like, I knew, but like, I didn't know. I don't know how to explain that. Like it wasn't like I knew in the back of my mind that this happened because it happened to people in my family, and well, quite frankly, it happened to me. But I didn't. I didn't know that that was so rampant, and I didn't even realize that they were, leaning on that policy to do so. I didn't know that they were exploiting that. I didn't know how widespread it really was. I just thought, geez, a lot of bad experiences in my particular circle of witnesses. Um, and I just, I think it's because if you're raised in it, it's normalized, Like they create such an environment that you don't even realize uh, all the crimes that are being committed and how bad it really is. Let's see here. Oh, I have been yakking a lot, and I'm so sorry for that. I didn't mean to like go on and on and on, but yeah, oof. So yeah, look forward to tomorrow. Tomorrow, where I will be posting the footage of my grandma, me talking to her at the door, and I'll try to throw out those other little clips, like the one that I played in the stream today. I'm gonna try to throw some of those out um, over the course of the week as well, because I figure they might be kind of interesting. You know. Um, Also, I have to laugh because the clip that I showed earlier in this stream, my voice was so tiny. I was only like, I think 6 or 7 months on testosterone at the time. And yeah, my voice was tiny. Let's see here. It was October. That was on October 23rd, by the way. Um, Let me see. I want to pull something else up because because I think it's funny before I go. Oops. Oh, sorry about that. Let's see here. Don't mind me. I'm over here trying to figure out where this other footage went. Let's see here. Oh, whoops. It was in the right folder in the first place. Here we go. All right. I think. Yeah, this might be it. Let me just make sure before I torture y'all with the wrong thing. Oops. Nope. That wasn't it. Is this it? Oh no, that's the full footage of the protest. And let me see. Oh yeah, okay, this is the thing I wanted to show you. Because okay, it's really dark and you're probably not going to be able to see it very well, but I think it's hilarious. This is the day after um the day after I had the people come out and film. I came home and I had a little friend
No, come back.
waiting in front of my door.
What you doing?
It might be really
Come
hard
here.
to see though.
Come here, boy.
Yeah, it's super dark because it's
Who's
at
a good boy?
nighttime. But if you can't see it, it is a trash panda, also known as a raccoon.
Who's a good boy?
He's just like literally sitting in front of my door. I was honestly a little afraid because I thought he might have rabies and he might eat me or something, but I still thought he was cute. I don't think I've been that close to a raccoon ever.
Hey, boy. Who's a good boy?
Oh, okay.
What you doing, boy?
Thanks, exit the maze through the sun east into the sunrise. What you doing? I totally understand. I have carpal tunnel myself.
What are you doing there, buddy?
I'm not saying that's what your issue is or anything, but like, I totally understand not being able to type. Anyway, yeah, that was the raccoon. Oops. Oh, you didn't even hear the audio, thank goodness, actually, because my voice was like really high. Let me see here. I might play it again, actually, so you can hear how high my voice was. It's ridiculous.
No, no, come back. What you doing?
Oops, wrong thing. Oh, wait. No, you could hear my voice. That's terrible. Never mind. Ah, really embarrassing stuff. My voice was Mickey Mouse level still, even though I had been on T for a while. Let's see here. Let's pop back over the chat real quick. Yeah, we were directly told at assemblies back around 2002 to 2005 to not watch the Dateline/Panorama episodes back then featuring Barbara Anderson and Bill Bowen. Told it was all from Satan. Let's see here. One district overseer at the Romeoville asshole. Jeez, Dave, you're killing me. Outside Chicago told us about internet searches back then. If you click on the name Jehovah, you'll be led right out of the truth. Well, isn't that ironic? They got jw.org. I bet if you click on that and you use your critical thinking skills, you'll lead yourself out of the truth. Raccoons are cool. They come and eat my leftover peanuts. The squirrels and birds don't finish during the day because, during the day outside behind my home. I still haven't seen another raccoon before or since, and I would really like to. I think they're really, really cute. That thing was bigger than Chester, by the way. Like, Chester's a big boy, but that raccoon was bigger than Chester. I don't know what I thought I was doing calling it over to me, like it's actually going to come to me. If it had come over to me, I think I would have screamed and run away. Because rabies. Anyway, oh my goodness. So yeah, I guess that about wraps it up. I really did not mean to stay on this long. I'm super sorry. But yeah, we will, well, I will be back tomorrow. Not me, but like a video will be up tomorrow. It'll be the footage of my grandmother and me having a chat outside the door, outside of her door. The footage that the stuff in the documentary came from, because like I said, there's 24 minutes of stuff, and they only played like a teeny tiny snippet of what was actually in that video, and I think you all might find it interesting slash amusing to see the kind of conversation we actually did have. It really wasn't, like I said, it was not what I was expecting. She was really, she was really nice and in good spirits for the most part. It wasn't really as bleak as I thought it was going to be, and she was very lucid, very very lucid. So that was good because, like I said earlier, if she hadn't been lucid, I would not have been comfortable. I would not have been comfortable featuring her in the documentary. That would have been a no-go for me. I would have told them, nope, don't put her in the documentary because I don't want her to. I don't want her illness to be exploited. Um, let's see here. If Chester saw the raccoon, he'd probably want to attack or play with it. Chester hates everybody and everything except for me, and even me he hates a little bit. When my brother comes by my house, uh, he can hear him walking up to the door, and he'll start growling like he's a dog. He'll go, "Rrrr." And I'm like, Chester, be quiet. You're not even going to do anything to him. What are you going to do? I mean, while I was in the hospital last year, my brother came to feed Chester, and he told me that Chester would cower under the bed and just growl and hiss at him. So Chester wouldn't do anything. You've seen the video of him on my channel where he's like poking his head out and looking at the chickens, and like he wants to mess with the chickens, but also he's a little afraid of outside. So I mean, when he hears me outside the door, he starts crying because he thinks that the outside is eating me or something. So yeah, he's not a fan of going outside. He never has been, no matter where we've lived. He's just not an outside cat, and that's fine. I don't want him to get eaten or get a disease and die. So I'm glad he's a spoiled inside cat. Anyway, I hope that you all are doing well. Like I said, if you all have any questions whatsoever about about the documentary or about the type of activism I do, or you have suggestions or criticisms or whatever, or you just want to say hi, um, please do so. I really love hearing back from people. I've been like really enjoying the fact that people are reaching out to me and telling me their stories. That's really awesome. So yeah, don't hesitate to reach out or leave a comment or whatever you want to do. All right. Um, I'll have to bring Chester an open can of tuna as a peace offering. Chester doesn't eat human food. Like straight up, he's not interested in human food. Except he will eat like a tiny ball of cheese if you offer it to him, but it has to be a really small ball. He won't like if you give him like a good sized chunk, he'll sniff it and then he'll walk away. But if you give him like a teeny tiny ball, he'll eat it. But other than that, no human food. He does not eat human food. He doesn't want meat. He doesn't want anything like at all. He likes cat food and he likes wet cat food, but that's it. No human food except for the little tiny balls of cheese. But alrighty, thank you for hanging out with me, and um, well, yeah, I'll see. Hopefully, I'll see some of y'all back here tomorrow in the comments when I upload my video of me talking to my grandmother, and then I think on Thursday I'll upload the actual full Kingdom Hall protest footage so that y'all can see the little extra chunks that for some reason I cut out. And when I uploaded that one, I hadn't seen the footage in a while. Like it was really old, so I didn't even realize that I had cut it down. But alrighty, hope to see y'all back here tomorrow. And like I said, comments, questions, all that jazz. You know what to do. All right, take care, everybody. Please take care of yourselves and each other. Have a good night. And peace out.